pastors are changing or telling the congregation, hey, this is what we learned in theologian school. It was a bold-faced lie, but now I'm willing to stand for the truth. And we're taking our Passover back and denouncing Easter. Christ was given up on that night. We're not celebrating Easter. We're celebrating Passover. Pastors are going to begin to wake up and say, you know what? When I study Acts the 12th chapter, the only place Easter is written of in the Bible, I'm not going to use this word Easter to sell the lie because those that follow me or within my congregation, if they see it in the Bible, they'll believe that it's lawful or right according to God. I'm not going to use this word to deceive my people. I'm going to study the word Easter in the Bible. All right? Acts 12 and 4. Usually when someone come up to their pastor and ask, well, what's going on with Easter? I heard it's pagan. The response is, well, let's go into the Bible because the Bible shows Easter. And they'll read Acts 12 and 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Easter. But there's no Easter holy day in the Old Testament. So what is this talking about? When I say the Old Testament, Peter was being brought up during a time of a feast that's written of in Leviticus 23. The Feast of Unleavened Bread. When you go into your strong concordance or into the Greek, the word is Passover, not Easter. So the context of the scripture is correct if you study. But they injected one word to have Christians move Christ's significance and the day he died into the worship of Ashtoreth, the goddess of fertility.
Such deeds of Nimrod that were against God has continued even after Nimrod had died. Semiramis, Nimrod's wife, insisted that Nimrod became the sun god. She cut Nimrod's dead body into pieces and sent them to each tribe of Babylon. People regarded the place where a part of Nimrod was buried as sacred. She also claimed that Nimrod was reincarnated as her son.
The sun god Nimrod was reincarnated as my son Tammuz. He who believes and follows Tammuz follows Nimrod.
As Semiramis ruled over Babylon in place of her young son Tammuz, she maneuvered people into worshiping her. Monuments of Semiramis carrying her child Tammuz in her arms were set up all over Babylon, along with various images symbolizing the sun god. The sun worship and the mother-child worship, which was a scheme devised by Semiramis, put down roots as a religion of Babylon.
Read 1 Corinthians 10 and 20 for me real quick.
1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 20.
Come on.
But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils.
Exactly. The Gentile sacrifices are the food or the animal and drink sacrifices they use for holy days. That's where you get holiday celebrations. They're actually sacrificing to a god. Food sacrifice or animal sacrifice and drink sacrifice. So shouldn't we be focused on Christ's sacrifice on Passover? And how can you do that? By moving the word Passover and going into a already established pagan holiday under the Greeks and Roman Hellenists. They've taught us a lie, folks. We're not learning Christ. We're not learning the truth concerning him. They've replaced him with their God. And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils. You're playing a deadly spiritual game. Read.
Verse 21.
Come on.
Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devil.
You can't make a union with light and darkness. You can't say I'm down with Christ, but I'm going to compromise the day he was given up for something that you know is pagan and evil.
Works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries, and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven.
From now on, I'll be following the Passover. I denounce Sunday worship. I denounce it altogether, because you cannot get 3 days between Good Friday and Sunday. 2, you can't even count, only 2 days. I'm going to denounce Sunday, and I'm going to deal with the Sabbath like it says according to the Bible. Will you stand in truth? If not, the blood will be on your own head.